trouble with it?
I can't seem to get this to work.
No,
I don't know.
it's got you first. It's come up this in and then down.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Hey.
Learn something new every day here.
Wonderful. I appreciate that.
By the way, how's that branded PPC campaign we're running?
It's going great. It's going great. We have lots of clicks.
You know,
High
I
CTR,
really-
low CPC. What could be? What could
I really don't agree with you on the whole premise of like the branded PPC campaign. I just don't think it's money well spent.
Well, because you're organic. That's,
Yes,
of course
organic
you don't agree
bananas, organic peaches, very important, and
Organic clicks.
I
Well-
just don't think it's money well spent. Like I think it's like we have.
I hear
like,
you. I hear you.
If you have a strong SERP, there's no real reason for you to be paying for clicks that you would get anyway through organic.
Well, not exactly. I wouldn't say there's no real reason. There are definitely benefits to having a branded CPC campaign. And there are many reasons. One of the reasons is we get to dominate the space, even though it may
Yeah,
take
but
from...
if your space is already dominated with your brand,
Right.
and you have, a knowledge panel, and you have your like site links coming across, and then let's say you're a small like business, and you have like all your other separate listings, and you're dominating the SERP anyway, you don't really need a space up there. I wish that it was like I could show it to you visually and like try to illustrate my point.
Well, funny you should ask that, Susan. We happen to have a flip chart right here.
How convenient, Ari. It's like you already have it drawn out. I mean, this is like
Really funny.
That's
it's
really
like
amazing.
we're just ready to
So,
have this
so
conversation.
basically, Susan, if I understand your argument, you're basically saying that with a SERP that doesn't have any advertisements, if you're already showing up for your own brand name with a knowledge panel and a lot of your own branded results, maybe some jumbo site links, it's not worth bidding on your own brand.
Exactly.
All right, so I could understand this for like a local business, maybe, right? So like, I don't know, give me an example. Like,
Let's say you're a restaurant.
okay, so if somebody's looking to Google a restaurant name, especially a specific branch, they're probably just going to reserve or checking out the menu. If there's no one else bidding on there, is there any reason why we should be bidding branded? I mean, maybe once we detected that competitors were bidding,
Sure, if there is a competitor, but let's say you don't have competitors in the space, and you're basically like,
and your restaurant is a really unique name.
yeah.
There's nothing else that could be misconstrued for it.
Right, and you have to think that if you're a restaurant and your users are searching for you, they're going to be in your general area. So therefore, their SERP is probably going to show, you would hope, your
Like a local result.
local result,
Right.
like your local restaurant, hopefully some site links, and then maybe your Facebook page. And if you have a Yelp listing, basically you're dominating your brand space here. That
Right.
if on top of that you then have an ad or paying for that acquisition, it just kind of seems like
Right.
maybe
What's,
not the best
what's
use of your
interesting
money.
is, I'm not sure it's only in this, but there's a Google case study, and of course it's from Google, but there's been a couple that say like 1 + 1 equals 2.5. That in some ways, like if you're bidding on your own brand name, again depending on the space, on average you would have gotten more incremental clicks than just siphoning off organic clicks to paid. So it's interesting. Like I think you need to look a little bit deeper there. But here's another use case. So like, what about e-commerce? Right. So like, whether it's Amazon or eBay bidding on your own brand name or like brand name plus modifiers, if other people, not even e-commerce, also lead gen, if other people are bidding on your own brand name when people are so close to making a transaction or filling out a lead form, I wouldn't mind paying a few cents per click.
for sure. There I agree with you.
Right.
So there I think we're more on the same.
And furthermore, it's not the same kind of price that you'd pay, let's say, for like a random non-branded keyword, right? I mean,
Right. It's significantly, yeah.
so the reason it's significantly cheaper is because your site has like a title tag or some page text that has to do with the brand. It's probably an exact match domain name, and your quality score would be really high, and so therefore, what like cost per click would be lower. Tell them, Ari.
Significantly lower, but I mean, one thing I want to stress here is even if you're not worried about competitors, you can control your CPC ads more than you can control your organic listing. So let's say you want to emphasize something that's really important, like free shipping or free delivery. You can't really do that in your organic as much.
You
as
can, but you've got limited space.
You're limited space,
right.
and here you could like it's holiday special and so on. So you're gonna have to constantly change whatever it is, the title text, whatever it is you change on your organic listing in order to make it look appropriate.
Right.
Here,
Right, and
it's
Google may or
instant.
may not actually honor that in the
Right,
SERP.
right. So this is a good way to like dominate the real estate for your brand.
Right.
And that I think for big brands, like especially on mobile and all these things coming up, like if you have one advertiser for a specific query that's bidding on your brand name on mobile, or two advertisers, it's like,
Right.
this is your real estate. especially with 4 ads now, it's like unbelievable. So I think
4 ads.
so I think that's like really important to consider. Is like if you're really trying to get a message across, or you have the money, which a lot of times, depending on how much search volume you have for your brand name, and how cheap it is per, like, would you spend $200, $300, $400 a month to make sure that like your brand is represented always really well, and protect yourself against competitors? I think it may be worth it. So I think the summary here is like at a local level, it's probably, you have to really look and see if it's worth it, especially like local branches of things. You could be wasting a lot of money, especially if there's high volume. Like a lot of people are making reservations, right? Which is something we should check into. But in the cases of like e-commerce or big brands, like, you know, it may be worth it.
You gotta do that for your big brands. Also, even if you're a small brand, you want to get that brand awareness out. Yeah. The fact that you just have that organic listing is okay, but if you have that ad, it shows it's getting your name out even more.
And you're not biased at all about that.
It's not. Well, anyways. You know, yeah.
Well, just turn on your ad blockers and cut all of that out.
That works too.
Until next time, we just all pointed at the camera.